One phone call from Donald Trump might have just ended Diddy's freedom forever. Not only is the former president demanding the harshest punishment possible, insiders say it's personal. This isn't just about politics. It's about betrayal, backroom deals, and a secret so explosive it could ruin more than one career. And if what's being whispered is true, Diddy's next move might seal his fate for good. Not long ago, Trump and Diddy moved in the same glittering circles. Smiles for the cameras, mutual respect, and even a few public words of support. But now, that friendship is dust. Trump has made it crystal clear there will be no mercy, no favors, and definitely no presidential pardon. In fact, sources claim he's personally urging the court to lock Diddy away for as long as the law allows. The spark that lit this fire? Diddy's refusal to back Trump during the election, and the quiet jabs he allegedly took behind closed doors. To Trump, it wasn't just political opposition, it was betrayal. And when you mix that with the storm of legal trouble already surrounding Diddy, it created the perfect setup for a brutal public takedown. But the bad blood runs deeper than a few sharp words, and what comes next flips their history on its head. Diddy isn't just battling bad press. He's already been convicted on 2 counts under the Federal Mann Act, a law that makes it illegal to transport anyone across state lines for unlawful sexual activity. Each count carries up to 10 years in prison. That means, on paper, he's staring at a possible 20-year sentence. Before Trump stepped in, legal experts were predicting a far softer landing. Probation, maybe time served, especially since this was his first conviction and he's already spent months behind bars. But with Trump allegedly pushing for the maximum, that safety net has vanished overnight. Now, instead of walking free, Diddy's fighting just to keep the rest of his life from being swallowed by a prison cell. And the way the judge has been acting lately? It's starting to look like the scales are already tipping against him. But what Diddy's legal team has been doing behind the scenes to fight back, that's where things get wild. From the outside, it might look like Diddy's lawyers are just going through the motions, but inside those courtrooms, it's been nothing short of a frantic scramble. They've filed bail requests over and over again, 5 times to be exact, and every single one has been shot down. Even when Diddy put a staggering $50 million bond on the table, backed by his Miami mansion, the judge didn't blink. The official reason? Diddy is both a flight risk and a danger to the community. That's a legal death sentence for someone hoping to walk free before sentencing. And when that didn't work, his team switched tactics, pushing for the guilty verdicts to be thrown out, or at least for a brand new trial. Their argument? No one in U.S. history has been convicted under this law for circumstances anything like his. But here's the problem. Every signal from the bench points to the judge digging in even deeper. And with the president allegedly breathing down his neck to keep things tough, it's starting to feel less like a trial, and more like a one-way ticket to the harshest punishment possible. And to really understand why this fight feels so personal, you have to rewind, way back to when Trump and Diddy weren't enemies at all. Before the scandals, before the courtroom drama, Trump and Diddy were far from rivals. They were regulars in the same high-profile circles, red carpets, celebrity parties, and mutual nods of respect. Back then, Trump didn't just tolerate Diddy, he publicly vouched for him. In interviews, he called him a good guy and even said he'd stick up for him no matter what. It wasn't just empty talk either. When early questions about Diddy's legal troubles popped up, Trump didn't slam the door. He hinted, just enough, that a presidential pardon might actually be on the table. And for Diddy's camp, that was all they needed to hear. Behind the scenes, the gears started turning. Quiet lobbying, private conversations, and a growing belief that when the dust settled, Diddy might walk out of this mess with the president's blessing. But those whispers of support wouldn't last, because according to insiders, the path to that pardon came with a price, and it was more dangerous than anyone realized. According to people close to the situation, the so-called pardon plan wasn't going to be some random act of kindness. It was strategic, calculated. The rumor? Trump's team would ease the public into the idea by pardoning other big names first. NBA youngboy for weapons charges, reality TV stars for fraud and tax evasion, even a blanket pardon for the January 6th rioters. All of it designed to make another celebrity pardon seem like business as usual. And in the middle of that quiet rollout, Diddy's name would slide in under the radar. No uproar, no shock, just another signature on a growing list. At least that was the theory. But insiders say there was one major catch: this pardon wouldn't be free. Behind the scenes, federal investigators allegedly dangled a deal, trade valuable information on other powerful figures, and Diddy could make his problems disappear. And the names he was rumored to drop? That's where things took a sharp turn from political strategy into dangerous territory. If the whispers are true, Diddy didn't hold back when it came to naming names. Sources claim he pointed fingers at high-profile media personalities, political heavyweights, and even Trump himself. The alleged crown jewel of this so-called cooperation? Information tied to the infamous Epstein list, the same secretive roster that's had Hollywood and Washington on edge for years. Then came the shockwave. Elon Musk, in a tweet that the internet will never forget, flat-out claimed Trump's name was on those files. Within hours, he deleted it, but the screenshots had already gone viral. Trump brushed it off as old news, insisting he'd cut ties with Epstein nearly 2 decades ago. But whether the claim was true or not, the damage was done. If Diddy thought he was playing power chess, it backfired spectacularly. Because instead of negotiating from strength, he'd just given Trump every reason to slam the door shut and throw the lock away. From that point forward, insiders say the gloves were off, and the next move Trump allegedly made was the one that could keep Diddy in a cell for the rest of his life. Once Trump caught wind of Diddy's alleged attempts to use dirt as leverage, any remaining chance of a pardon evaporated. What had started as a quiet feud over politics had now turned into an all-out personal war. Instead of extending a lifeline, Trump reportedly doubled down, urging Judge Aaron to hit Diddy with the harshest sentence the law would allow. From that moment, the tone of the courtroom shifted. Bail denials came quicker. The judge's patience thinned. Every motion from Diddy's legal team seemed to hit a brick wall. It was as if the entire process had shifted gears, from weighing the facts to making an example. For Diddy, this wasn't just a legal fight anymore. It was a high-stakes grudge match against one of the most powerful figures in the country. And with the sentencing date looming, the odds of escaping that maximum penalty were looking worse by the day. But the real blow was still to come, and it would turn what was once a calculated legal gamble into a complete collapse. Diddy's empire isn't just wobbling, it's collapsing in front of millions. Every deal he once had in the works is either frozen or gone. Former allies have turned into silent spectators, watching from a safe distance as the storm swallows him whole. The calls, the favors, the influence, none of it's working now. But here's the real gut punch. Insiders say this isn't just about the law anymore. It's about power, ego, and payback. And when those three collide, the outcome is rarely merciful. If the whispers are true, and Trump really did lean on Judge Aaron to make an example out of him, then the sentence Diddy's facing isn't just the result of a courtroom verdict. It's the final chapter in a personal feud that spiraled out of control. Once, he was the man who could walk into any room and own it. Now, he's a headline. His future written not in contracts or platinum records, but in cold, steel prison bars. And if nothing changes before that sentencing date, we might all be witnessing the moment Sean Diddy Combs' story stops being about music, parties, and success, and becomes a cautionary tale about how quickly the world can turn when the wrong people decide your time is up. Because here's the thing, this isn't just a fall from grace, this is a free fall, and the ground is coming fast. Whether you think Diddy's downfall is justice served or a personal vendetta taken too far, one thing's clear. This story isn't just about guilt or innocence, it's about what happens when fame, politics, and grudges collide, and the truth gets buried under the weight of power. If the walls really are closing in, Diddy's not just fighting for his career, he's fighting for the rest of his life.